Hello everyone, you're welcome to this lesson. In this video, we are going to learn how to find the derivative of functions using the definition of the derivative. So let's look at how you are going to do this. So first of all, you're going to look at the definition of the derivative. Okay, so let's look at that. So the definition of the derivative goes this way. If you have a function f of x, okay, and then you have to find the derivative of this function, which will be represented with f prime of what? X. Okay, this is read as f prime of x. This derivative, okay, which is the f prime of x, will be equal to the limit, okay, of f of x plus h, okay, minus f of x, all divided by h as h approaches what? 0. Okay, so if you have a function f of x and you are asked to find its derivative, which will be given as f prime of x, okay, the derivative is represented with f prime of x. That will be equal to the limit as h approaches 0 for f of x plus h minus f of x divided by what? H. Okay, so that's the definition of what? The derivative. So we are going to use this definition to find the derivative of what? Some functions. Okay, let's look at the first one. So for the first one, you're going to have f of x, okay, to be equal to 2x squared, okay, minus 16x plus 35. Okay, so this is the first function that we have. So let's find the derivative of this function using the definition of what the derivative. Okay, so you have to find f prime of what? X. Okay, that's what you have to find. Okay, so how do we find this? So first of all, you will have to rewrite the function as you have to write the function f of what? X plus h first. Okay, then after that you come and substitute it back into the definition expression. So our f of x plus h will be, what you're going to do is that wherever we see x, we are going to put x plus h there rather. Okay, so we are going to have two brackets open, x plus h squared. Okay, so instead of just x, we are using x plus h. Okay, minus 16 multiplying x plus h, okay, plus 35. Okay, so that would be the f of x plus h expression. So now you're going to substitute this back into this general definition formula that we have. Okay, so let's look at that. So you're going to have f prime of x, okay, to be equal to, okay, the space is limited, so let me just clean this so that we can get more space. Okay, so now our f prime of x, okay, will be equal to the limit, okay, as h approaches 0 for two brackets open, x plus h squared, okay, minus 16 multiplying x plus h, okay, plus 35. Okay, all this minus plus 35, all this minus f of x, right, which is 2x squared, okay, 2x squared minus 16x plus 35. Okay, this is what you are going to have. Okay, so all this divided by the h. Okay, all this divided by what? H. Okay, so now what you have to do is that you have to simplify the numerator. Okay, so let's look at how you are going to do that. So for the numerator, we have two brackets open, x plus h squared, okay, minus 16 multiplying x plus h plus 35. Okay, let's focus on this part for now. Okay, so I'm going to have, okay, let me write a 2 outside the square bracket. Okay, and then you're going to have x plus h, okay, multiplying what? X plus what? H. Okay, bracket close, okay, minus 16x, okay, minus 16h, okay, plus what? 35. Okay, this is what you're going to have. Okay, so now let's focus on what we have in the square bracket. Okay, so we are going to have x multiplying x plus h multiplying what? X plus what? H. Okay, this is what you are going to have. So let's do the multiplication. You're going to have x squared plus hx plus hx plus h squared. Okay, so at the end you're going to have x squared plus 2hx plus h squared. So let's bring that here. So we're going to have 2 multiplying x squared plus 2hx, okay, plus h squared minus 16x minus 16h plus what? 35. Okay, so now let's bring the remaining part. Let's bring this part here. Okay, but don't forget that we have a negative one here. Okay, so you're going to distribute the negative to the terms in the bracket. Okay, so you're going to have minus 2x squared, okay, plus 16x, okay, minus what? 35. Okay, this is what you are going to have. Okay, so let me free up some space so that you can continue. Okay, so now let me distribute these two, okay, to the terms in the square bracket. Okay, so you're going to have 2x squared plus 4hx, okay, plus 2h squared, okay, minus 16x minus 16h plus 35. Okay, let me clean this. Minus 2x squared plus 16x minus what? 35. Okay, this is what you are going to have. So let's further simplify this. Okay, so in simplifying this, we have 2x squared here, and then we have minus 2x squared here. So that's going to give us 0. And then we have 16x here, and then we have plus 16x. That's also going to give us 0. Okay, then we have 35 minus 35. That will also give us 0. So at the end, we are going to have 4hx plus 2h squared, okay, minus 16h. Okay, this is what you are going to have for the numerator. Okay, so now let's rewrite the limit expression. Okay, so for this to be easy, I'm just going to take away what we have on top. Okay, let me just take that away, and then let's write the new expression. Okay, so now we have 4hx, okay, plus 2h squared minus what? 16h. Okay, this is what you are going to have. Okay, so now what you're going to do is that you're going to factor out the h, okay, from the numerator, okay, so that you can cancel it out from the denominator. So let's look at that. So we are going to have f prime of x, okay, to be equal to the limit as h approaches 0 for, let's factor h out of the numerator. So you're going to have h bracket open 4x plus 2h, okay, minus what? 16, okay, divided by h. Okay, this is what you are going to have. So now we can do the direct substitution here. But before we do that, let's cancel out the h. Okay, this h will cancel out this. Okay, so now we can go ahead with the direct substitution. So we are going to have 4x, okay, plus 2 multiplying 0, right, minus what? 16. Okay, so at the end, our answer is going to be 4x minus what? 16. Okay, so this is how to find the derivative of a function using the definition of what? Derivatives. Okay, there are other simple ways that we can do this. We can compute this derivative, but I want you to understand how derivative is related to limits. Okay, so that you understand the whole concept better. So let's take one more example. Okay, so I have the next function here. We have f of x to be equal to x over x plus 1. So we have to find f prime of x, okay, which is the derivative of what? F of x. Okay, so let's look at that. So we have our f of x, okay, so we have to write the expression for f of what? X plus what? H, okay. So for that one, wherever you see x, you're going to put x plus h there. So you're going to have x plus h, okay, divided by x plus h, okay, bracket close, plus 1, okay. So our derivative will now be the limit as h approaches 0 for x plus h, okay, divided by x plus h, okay, plus 1, okay. So I think I can just write it as x plus h plus 1, okay, this is okay, minus x over x plus 1, okay, all this divided by what? H. Okay, so I just substituted it into the expression for the definition of what derivatives, which is what this expression here. Okay, that's what I used. Okay, so now let's look at what you are going to do next. So what you are going to do next is that you are going to simplify the numerator. Okay, so let's look at that. We have x plus h divided by x plus h plus 1, right? Minus x over x plus 1, okay. So what you're going to do is that you're going to find a common denominator, okay, and then that's going to be the product of the two denominators that you have for the separate fractions. So you're going to have x plus h plus 1, okay, multiplying x plus what? 1, okay. This is what you are going to have, okay. So we are going to have this x plus h multiplying this what? X plus 1, okay. So you're going to have x plus h multiplying x plus 1, okay, minus x multiplying what? X plus h plus 1, okay. This is what you are going to have. So let's further simplify this. Okay, so to further simplify this, we will have to expand this first term here, okay. So let's look at how you are going to do that. So let's do the distribution. You're going to have x multiplying x plus 1 plus h multiplying what? X plus 1, okay. This is what you are going to have. So let's do the distribution now. We're going to have x squared plus x plus hx plus what? H. Okay, this is what you're going to have. So let's substitute that back to the expression that we have. So now you're going to have you're now going to have x squared plus x plus hx plus what? H. Okay, this is what you are going to have. Okay. All right, so now you let's leave the denominator, okay, the way it is. Let's leave it that way, okay. So let's continue. Okay, so I will have to distribute this minus x to the terms in the bracket here. Okay, we are going to distribute the minus x there to the terms in the bracket. So we are going to have x squared plus x plus hx plus h minus x squared minus hx minus x. Okay, this is what you are going to have. All this divided by x plus h plus 1 multiplying what? X plus 1. Okay, so let's look at what is going to happen. So we have x squared here, then we have minus x squared here, so that's going to give us 0. We have plus x here, you have minus x here, that also give us what? 0. And then we have what? Hx here plus hx and then minus what? Hx here, that also give us what? 0. So at the end we are just going to have, let me write this here, we are just going to have h divided by x plus h, okay, plus 1, okay, multiplying what? X plus what? 1, okay. That's for the what? Numerator, okay. So let's do the substitution into the main expression that we have. Okay, so now you're going to have the limit as h approaches 0 for h divided by x plus h plus 1 multiplying x plus 1. Okay, all this divided by what? H. Okay, but you know that we can write this as simply as this divided by what? H. Okay, and then when we do the reciprocal, we are just going to have times 1 over what? H. This is what you are going to have. Okay, then this h and this h will cancel out, so at the end we are just going to have the limit as h approaches 0 for 1 over x plus h plus 1 multiplying what? X plus 1. Okay, so let's do the direct substitution and see what you are going to have. If we do the direct substitution, we are going to have 1 over x plus 0 plus 1 multiplying what? X plus 1. Okay, so at the end, let's continue here. You are going to have 1 over x plus 1 multiplying what? X plus 1. Okay, which will be equal to 1 over x plus 1 squared. Okay, so this will be our answer for this function. Okay, so that would be the derivative of the function that was given. Okay, so this is how to use the definition of derivatives to find the derivative of what? Functions. I'm going to give you one example so that you try that on your own. Okay, so let's look at the question. I'll give you the example and then I'll give you the answer. Okay, so that when you solve it, you know when you are correct and then when it's not right. So I'm giving you f of x to be equal to the square root of 5x, okay, minus what? 8. Okay, and then the answer, which is f prime of x, will be equal to 5 over 2 root of what? 5x minus what? 8. Okay, so this will be the answer after computing the limit of what? This function f of x here. So try your hands on it and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching this video.